Good evening, morning, whatever it is you're watching. I don't know. Welcome to another episode of Tubby Time. Today, we are doing our second Tubby Talk. It's the August 1st edition. We're going to talk about various things, such as what we're doing with our channel, Cayla's awesome surgery, my recent medical issues, and complain about moving friends back from school. It's going to be a good one. Let's get into it. So first off, we hope you're all doing extremely well as we're still battling the COVID pandemic here and everywhere. If you didn't know, we're from what?
I heard today that Florida and California surpassed New York's numbers.
Cayla's revisiting last week's news. All right, good. Awesome. And she works in healthcare. That's awesome. All right.
I was told today.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Snapchat didn't tell you that, huh? So we've had a lot going on the last few months, and we're growing our channel out. Thank you to all you that have subscribed. And this video is different from our normal stuff. We've done one Tubby Talk so far. This is the second one. And we've really stepped back and looked at what we're doing and how we're producing our videos and the results and all that good stuff. Come to find out, we're just putting in a lot of time to this, and it feels like we don't have any free time. So we decided last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever, we're going to cut back our videos to one video a week that focuses on our channel and what we're all about, winging recipes, so you don't have to. We're going to focus on the cooking and the reviews and the stuff like that. But we still want to do these little weird videos, the Tubby Talks, not for views or not, but just because it's different. You know, it breaks the channel up a little bit. And we think maybe we can be funny sometimes. Not that anyone really cares what we have to say, maybe, but we're going to try it out. So just something new to break it up, and we'll see how it goes. We're going to post these on the first of every month. So we're just basically going to talk about things that happened in the prior month. So things that, this is the August 1st one. So things that happened in July. And we got not a lot to talk about, but some interesting things. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, like our videos, comment. We're always, and I say this every video, we're always looking for ideas. If you have any ideas of things you want us to recreate, or things you want to have us taste test, or things you want to have us talk about, tell us in the comments. And be sure to follow us on our new Instagram page that Cayla's managing. It's @_TubbyTime, because Tubby Time was already taken. And I think we already have more followers than the person that has the Tubby Time one, so
I have no idea.
I don't know either. There's so many Tubby Times out there, and I think we're the best so far.
Yes.
So, anyway, you're looking a little fat in the face. So, do you want to talk about what you've endured this week?
I got my wisdom teeth out Monday. This is the most I can smile. I'm a little puffy. I'm a little sore, but pain's going away because I just took an oxycodone, so it's good.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Not a bad surgery. Anyone who says that you need to be put under anesthesia is a liar. I mean, you can, but like, there's no need to pay the extra money because it was fine. I think the surgeon took all 4 of them out in under a half hour, and I was awake for the whole thing with just laughing gas, and it was fine. And I saved money. Yeah. I mean, my insurance covered so much of it anyway, but right. I still didn't have to pay as much as you would for anesthesia. Yeah. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
They're all very nice there, too.
Yeah, a little bit different than mine. And you had yours out pretty late. I mean, you're what, 12 now? So that'd be weird. Oxy hasn't kicked in yet. So, I mean, you had yours out at, what are you, 24?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I should know that. I don't even know my own age half the time. I had mine out at 21, and most of the people I knew growing up had theirs out in high school.
Yeah.
So
I was late.
Yeah. And how, I guess for anyone that hasn't had their wisdom teeth out, I mean, how was the process? Was the surgery scary? And you were awake for the whole time, so.
No, I wasn't scared. They were definitely really nice. They kept on asking if I wanted the anesthesia even before we started, and I was like, no, I'm good. I'm comfortable. I'm sure I'll feel tugging, but just do it. And the doctor, he kept on making jokes, so I was kind of there, kind of out of it. I was like really trying to breathe in deep to get all that laughing gas in because it made me feel really good. But it wasn't scary. There was a little tugging, and then when I did feel like a little, I don't want to say pain, but a little more pressure than the other ones, I don't know, gurgled, moaned, I don't know, I couldn't talk. And they're like, oh, we'll give you some more, and it was fine.
So, how bad were your teeth, though? Like, what was the deal?
The top ones, they weren't bad. They were still, like, in. This one was out. Like, I could see that one. I've been able to see this one for a while. And this one in the x-rays was actually growing this way, like, towards my teeth.
It was growing down.
Yeah, so, like, when they took the top ones out, it was super quick, but there was a lot more pressure. This one took a little bit more time, and actually the stitching is still in this bottom one. And then this one, the one that you could see, I swear there's like a black gaping hole, but they said that's normal. And that tooth, they let me see the teeth when I was done, and it was huge.
And how's the pain been for you? Because, like, I'll let you finish, but I'll talk about
so mine. The day I had it done at 8:15 in the morning, and I was numb from here down, was numb for a few hours. I mean, maybe till like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, I want to say. I mean, I started getting some feeling back on my lip, and then my tongue, and then part of my face. But I was numb for quite a few hours, so I think that helped with the pain. And then I, like, took the naproxen, some Tylenol, and I was fine the rest of the day. I did errands, I did stuff around the house. I was actually in my car about to go to a call for the fire department until they said it wasn't an actual fire. That's how close I got to actually driving. Like, I felt fine. Mm-hmm. I don't think I told you that. And then yesterday it was definitely more painful. Like, I tossed and turned. Trying to think. I took Tylenol and I took naproxen. I did take an oxycodone yesterday. And then at night the pain started coming back and I took more Tylenol. And today I only had Tylenol, and the first, like, pain pill, the oxycodone I took was, half hour, 45 minutes ago?
Yeah.
So it hasn't been that bad. Like, it's bearable until it gets really bad, and then I'll take something. But I don't want to take something if I don't have to.
Right. And I've noticed, and I don't know, like, when I had mine out, I was in the same boat. Like, I had I think it was my bottom two were growing, not sideways, but they were growing, like, at an angle, like a 45-degree angle toward my molars in the back. And then my top ones were completely fine. Those didn't even need to come out, but they took them out anyway. Whatever. My experience, I had to be put under because of my heart condition, because I'm a walking train wreck. So my heart condition made them put me under. I was more sore from the intubation, which was weird to begin with. I was, like, bleeding from my throat and nose, and it was so gross. Or no, it wasn't, because they put it through my nose, I think. Yeah, they put a tube through my nose. I don't remember. So I was asleep. I don't recall what happened. But yeah, that was the most pain I had that day. But I ate a cheeseburger right afterwards.
Yeah, there's no way.
I know you're not supposed to do that.
I can't even do that now. I'm, like, swallowing my mac and cheese right now.
But if you're me and don't listen to doctors, you eat a cheeseburger afterwards. So I did that.
I can't even, like, open up my jaw wide enough to, like, bite into it.
Yeah, it was a McDonald's cheeseburger. It was really good. And then I was good for the next day. I went to work completely fine. And I think it was a day after that I actually had to take my oxys that they gave me because it was like a stabbing pain in the back of my jaw all over. It was very uncomfortable. I think throughout the whole thing, I took probably 4 of the oxys, maybe, and that was over a week period. Yeah. So I was just living off Tylenol and ibuprofen if I had to. Yeah.
They give you, like, muscle relaxer?
No, see, that's the weird thing is I think everyone's different because, like, I remember growing up, my friends, some of them had, they just couldn't tolerate the pain whatsoever, or they just thought they had pain, or they were just taking the medication from what the doctor told them to, like, hey, take these every 6 hours. And I just remember, like, visiting some of them, like, when they had their wisdom teeth out, and they were just high as hell. Like, I'm like, I have never reacted that way, like, on a pill. Like, you know me, like I just don't. I'm weird.
Well, even tonight, my mom asked me. She said, if I fell asleep after I took the Oxy yesterday, and I didn't. I think I started getting a little tired, but I don't think I fell asleep.
Yeah.
It's definitely like it's already helped though.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, my experience with that was for anyone that hasn't gotten their wisdom teeth out, like just do it. It's not a big deal.
Get them all done at once too.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. So hopefully that helps some of you out there that are maybe going into getting your wisdom teeth out. Everyone, I think, reacts differently, but I think for the most part, it's a good time. And I think I was normal within a week. Like, just it's sort of weird with it healing, and you have the stitching that sort of like bothers you a little bit, but it's not worth having. They don't help you at all. It's sort of like gyms. It's a terrible idea. So yeah. So what next? You want to talk about my
Yeah, we can
issues?
talk about your experience
My issues.
now, yeah.
So I was just in the hospital. Come to find out, I have gallstones, and I went in for severe pain in my abdomen, which they, me personally, I thought it was pancreatitis, which it was. I actually have, and for those of you watching, yeah, I'm always drinking, I'm always doing this, that, the other thing. I'm not good to my body. I know that. Whatever. I mean, I've never been good to my body, except when I used to like be in high school and actually work out. I don't do that anymore. I don't have time for that. But I'm actually drinking a coffee right now, and it's 11 o'clock at night, so pretty cool. So yeah, I went in, and it really, I hate going to the hospital. I really do. And I think, and it's so funny because we both work in, you more so than me work in the healthcare field. We're both EMTs. We both deal with medicine. And I think that medicine in general is always just like a guessing game. Like they can tell you, hey, you had a heart attack. It's like, well, why do you have a heart attack? Well, I don't know. It's probably because you're fat. Like, it's just, okay. Like that's fine. With me, when I was younger, I think the first time I had a pancreatitis issue was I was like 21 maybe. And I didn't know it. I didn't go to the hospital. I just had really bad stomach pain, chest pain, whatever, for a few days. And, normal people, they'd be like, yeah, let's go to the hospital and get that checked out. Me, I just go, I'm going to drink through it, whatever. So I had a few issues with that. And I think I had 2 more where I was really bad. I ended up in the ICU when I was younger because of my drinking. Definitely because of my drinking. There's no doubt about it. I was terrible. I was drinking like 15 beers a day at least. Those were the good days. Those were fun. I was like 260 pounds. It was awesome. That's when she met me. Yeah. She loved that. She liked the thick boys. She still does. So yeah, fat guys out there, find yourself a girl like this who loves train wrecks. Yeah. So I basically had that going on. And then like every time I've gone since then, it's because I can't tolerate the pain. I've had flare-ups here and there, and I don't like taking pills. I stick to my ibuprofen and my Tylenol mixture, and I just get through it, and it sucks for like 3 days. I just don't eat anything. It is what it is. But every time I go in there, it's like, you're an alcoholic, you piece of shit. What the hell? You fucking asshole. Like, you are such a piece of shit, menace to society.
They don't say that.
Piece of fucking shit. But that's how you feel.
No,
and
they are.
Yeah, and like doctors, like I know so many really, really good doctors. And I feel like the ones at the hospital that I go to are just so rude, and they just talk down to you. Condescending, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And it's like, that's cool if like, okay, yeah, I get, like, maybe I drank too much. That's fine. But don't, like, berate me as soon as I get to the hospital, like, you're a piece of shit. Like, they don't say it like that.
Well, it wasn't even the ER doctors that did that.
No, it was the ER doctors was great. The nurses were, all the nurses I dealt with were awesome. And I love nurses.
Just the techs, the patient care techs.
Awesome. Radiology, didn't deal with them, but they were awesome. Great people. The janitors, awesome. I would rather have the janitor diagnosing me. Like, I hate talking to the doctors because they're just like, so this is what it is. You're an asshole. Stop drinking. Come to find out, it was caused by my gallbladder. Like, And a few instances before that, when I went in, it was caused from spicy food. So, like, I could stop drinking, but I don't think it's going to, like, I've cut back, but I don't think
it definitely helps, but it's, if you stop drinking doesn't mean that you won't ever get it again.
Right. I feel like it's just a chronic thing now, which is what I have, chronic pancreatitis. But, like, it just blows my mind that these, like, there's always, like, 6 different opinions in the medical field. Like, one time you go to the hospital and they'll be like, oh, yeah, it's alcohol. Like, we're going to put you on a diet for a few days and release you. Okay, cool. And you're better. Whatever. That's the majority of the time. This time they're like, oh, we're going to do, an ultrasound.
Which you've never had done.
Which I've never had done. I've had CAT scans done sometimes. I've had chest x-rays done. I've had, like, and there's so many different ways of.
Sometimes they just look at your blood work and say, oh, yeah, your pancreas is inflamed. Sometimes they're like, oh, well, we have to double check with the CAT scan.
Right. Yeah. So it just drives me nuts. And the way that the doctors treat you and sort of like deal with you while you're in the hospital, like, I'm not.
You're not a child,
Yeah, like, and I've heard it from, like, other people, like, if I say this to other people, and some of you watching who work in the medical field might feel this way too, like, listen to this guy, like, he thinks he knows everything. He's one of those patients. It's like, no, but I know my body, and I know that, and, like, yeah, I understand you need to diagnose me and say, okay, yeah, you have this, you're not having an MI, or you're not having whatever, but it really drives me nuts when they try to, like, hold you at the hospital and then threaten you, and then, like, it's just rude, and, like,
it's very rude.
It's like, work with me a little bit, work with your patients, and, like, I get you make like $200,000 a year. That's great, good for you. I'm glad you went to medical school. You're a necessary component, but, like,
you just don't have to be an asshole when you're doing it.
Right, like,
have some compassion.
Right.
It's not like you're some drug addict seeking pain meds.
Right. And I've never been disrespectful to doctors, like, even, or any medical staff for that matter, because I know what they go through. Like, it's terrible. I wouldn't want that job. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I just feel that there's some people, it's just weird. The medical field's weird. That's really all I got to say about it. And just the way you figure there's, like, a streamlined process to handle things, and half the time there's not. So, I don't know. That bothers me. It really grinds my gears.
Grinds your gears.
So what else do you want to talk about? Oh, my trip to New York.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Rob, if you're watching, we're going to talk about our trip to New York together.
I was not on this trip.
So my buddy and my other buddy, Rob and Sam, my buddy Rob is a...
man whore.
Yeah, but we think is going to be the most educated unemployed person ever. He is 30 years old, just graduated from Cornell. Thank him for his service. He was in the Air Force. He did that first, then went to college. That's great. Made a huge difference delivering supplies. But yeah, he fights for our country. So yeah, he's one of a kind, and he asked us to help him move his stuff back to home here in Connecticut from Ithaca. So Rob is, without a doubt, if you were to, I love him to death, but he is probably the worst planner out of all of our friends.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah.
Yes. So friends like this, like, I don't know why I thought this was going to be a simple process, but we're going to do this. It's going to go great. No problems whatsoever. It never is like that. We went to Europe 2 years ago. We lost him for a day. No clue what happened. He was with some prostitutes or something. No idea. So is what it is. So he says, yeah, I just need help moving this bed and dresser and TV back. Like, that's it. That's all I got. And that's cool. And why I believed him, I have no idea. So he's like, yeah, it's a 4-hour drive out there. It's a great drive. It's so much to see. And, and I was like, all right, well, my truck bed's sort of small. It's like 6 feet. So I'm like, do you think we should bring my trailer? Well, yeah, you could possibly bring your trailer. And he asked Sam the same thing. Sam has like a 28-foot trailer or something, like for heavy machinery. So he's like, yeah, it's going to be great. So we go out there, and this whole drive is just highway. Like, there were some cool landscapes, like in 2 spots, maybe, but that was it. Like, the majority of the time, it was like dilapidated houses and like Amish country. And there was a dude that was hanging off a crane at one point in the middle of, like, I don't know what that is, but he was hanging off a crane. And we finally
making my mouth hurt.
So we finally get to his house, and I'm thinking, okay, he said he's like 10 minutes from campus. Like, he's talking about how this place is like, it's sort of like our hometown, but it's
wasn't the trip longer than 4 hours too?
It was like 4.5.
Oh, right.
But that's whatever.
Yeah.
So we get there, and he's like, all right, so you're gonna have to swing your truck wide. Now, I have a Sierra 1500, not that big of a truck. You have to swing your truck wide to get into my driveway. And it's at like a 45-degree angle the opposite way we're coming in, and it's about like 4 feet wide and like a 1/4 mile long. And I'm like thinking to myself, we get up there, it's just washed out gravel driveway mess. And I'm like, you wanted me to bring my trailer here? And he's like, well, yeah, you could back it up, couldn't you? It's like, what? Like, I'm like, so I'm so glad we didn't bring our trailer, because that would have been, I would have driven into a tree, I think. Like, just, but long story short, we get up there, and we're there for like a day. We get really screwed up with his friends. It was a good time. But typical Rob, COVID's happening, and he thinks everything's open because his friends told him things were open. Well, he didn't take into account that, Connecticut and New York are basically at the same level as far as reopening. So you still can't go to clubs. You still can't go to bars. You still can't do really anything unless you're going to a restaurant and it's outdoor seating. And they close early. So here he is, drunk, and like, or not drunk, but like he gets in his mood where he's like, gotta be something open. And we're like scouring the city for like this bar that he likes or something that's not going to be open. And oh my God. It was like, we just ended up getting drunk at his house. So his roommate was really nice. Come to find out, we were outside making a lot of noise, and there was someone that was renting the room downstairs that the deck was on top of, the deck was on top of the room they were in. Didn't know that till morning. Oh well. But yeah, and then we decide, okay, we're gonna move all this stuff back, and we get it in the truck, and we'll come to find out there's a lot more than what he told us. There's the things we said, the dresser, the TV, the bed frame that he didn't think would need to be took apart. 600 boxes. Mosquito.
How'd you take that bed frame apart?
Sam basically ripped it apart, I think.
What happened to your toolbox in your truck?
Oh, yes. So we didn't have tools to take the bed frame apart. Thankfully, Rob found the actual like toolkit it came with, one of those cheap ones. So Sam was able to take it apart, thankfully. There was a chair. There was a vacuum. About 80 sets of sheets. What else was there? Books, papers. Barely any room for all of us to get back in one piece. I had his books sitting like at my feet the entire time. It was a great experience. And it was going to rain, so we had to get a tarp, wrap it up. And then it was like 6 hours back, and we didn't leave till like 8 o'clock that night. So by the time we got back, we didn't take the stuff out of the truck because he had to be up at 5 a.m. I had to be up early. Sam had to be up early, and we said, screw it. So it sat in my truck all night, and it downpoured, and everything got wet because the tarp ripped. Not everything, but it still got wet. And then what's sort of funny is Rob doesn't talk to his parents. So I go to his house the next day, his parents' house, to drop his stuff off. And, of course, Rob, planning genius, no clue where he's going to put the stuff. So we take it all out of or as we're taking it out of the truck, his mom comes out and is like, what, are you moving back in? What is this? Like, no clue. Excuse me. And so he just dumps all the stuff in the basement and says, whatever. Like, he's such an interesting guy. I love him. Think he's going to get pissed that we talked about him?
If he watches it.
He's not going to watch it. We're not going to tell him either.
No,
we're just going to see. We're going to see if he
Yeah.
watches it or not.
Yeah, we're going to see who brings it up.
Yep. We'll see which one of you people out there are going to rat us out to Rob.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think that's my Rob story. Like, I'm just glad I didn't bring a trailer there. That would have been so bad. Oh my God. So yeah, I mean, COVID's still kicking strong here in Connecticut. Thankfully, we're one of the top states to, like, we're not letting people in now. So all y'all out there that are getting COVID, don't come here.
Really? I thought you have to sign a little paper.
Yeah, they're supposed to quarantine for 14 days or something.
Yeah.
But, I think to close it out, we'll talk about COVID a little bit. It's been an interesting summer, to say the least. We're approaching, I guess, the end of summer. We have one more month. Perfect
time to get your wisdom teeth out because you have to wear a mask anyway. No one's going to see your fat face.
Yep, sure. You know what I don't understand? And, we started this channel because we were bored. We wanted to cook. We knew COVID was probably going to be a thing to stay. It wasn't going to go anywhere for a while. I don't understand people that are in this rush to we need to go out to dinner. I want to go wait 30 minutes to 2 hours at a restaurant to eat food that I could easily cook at home. I understand some people aren't good at cooking, and that's fine.
This is the perfect time to learn.
Just come here. I just feel so bad for people. I got a smoker because I don't want to go out. We have the flat top.
When was the last time we went out to dinner?
The last time, personally, I went out anywhere was last week, moving Rob back.
But when was the last time we went out to
which
dinner?
was really good. It was I want to recreate this. It was a bone marrow infused cheeseburger. Very good. Delicious. So good. At a really good brewery. The last time we went out to dinner as a couple.
I went to a brewery last week.
Yeah. Last time we went out to dinner as a couple was probably when we went out with your coworkers. Bowling, right?
Did we go out to dinner that night? Or did we just go bowling?
Didn't we eat something there?
We had snacks.
No. Well, okay. So if that doesn't count, I have no idea.
Well, that was the last time we actually went out, and did something.
Yeah.
Instead of just going to someone's house for a fire.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I miss the bars. I miss the camaraderie. I miss being able to touch people inappropriately. But I don't miss, spending money at restaurants. I don't miss, I just don't miss any of that. COVID has given, and thankfully we haven't gotten it yet, thoughts and prayers to everyone that's affected by it.
What do you mean yet?
I get it.
We just haven't gotten it.
Matter of time.
Period.
But, my love for Chef Boyardee has come about. We've been eating all the meat and stuff we have in our freezer, which we had stockpiled for whatever reason. I don't know what we were preparing for. I guess COVID. But then we got that in October. If you haven't checked out our year-old ribeye video, that's one of them. I still have a flank steak down there. I have shit tons of chicken,
shrimp.
hot dogs, brats.
We have a lot of shrimp.
Scramp. A lot of stuff. Pierogies. I have pierogies too. Got so many video potentials. Yeah. We have that teriyaki shrimp too. That other stuff.
I thought it was barbecue.
Barbecue teriyaki. Something like that. But it's really given us some time to focus on YouTube, focus on our recipes, focus on our cooking, and we have no excuse not to cook. Yeah. And I've learned a lot. I mean, I've smoked a few meals on the smoker. I've only filmed 2 of them so far. I've done 4. And I'm just trying different things, and I have the time to do it because we're not going out to dinner. You have the friends over, and
I'm actually trying to cook dinner, and I've only ever done desserts in the past.
Yeah. The video we're posting tomorrow, I'll put a link here, is Cayla's recipe for a soup.
I needed soup.
Yeah, for her teeth. So it was really good, and
flavorful, good summer soup.
It was. So I think that COVID, there's some positives to that, and I think COVID's brought us together as a couple to do more home and make the most out of our time here.
Well, what else is there to do?
Exactly. And you know what? Personally, I don't like spending money on anything. So I don't mind sitting around a fire. I mean, it does get a little repetitive sitting around a fire every weekend and getting shithoused, but I don't mind it. It's fun. You know, I'd like to go to a bar, but it costs less money, and is what it is. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up here. Once again, thank you for checking out our second episode of TubbyTalk on Tubby Time. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, leave us suggestions. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, please do that. And we will be back September 1st. I hate saying that because it's coming. Like, that means fall.
Oh, don't say that.
No more sweating. Sweating my ass off. We'll be back September 1st with another Tubby Talk episode, and be sure to check our channel every Sunday for new cooking or review or whatever we do videos. And that's it. Until next time, stay safe, stay full.
Stay tubby.
Thanks so much. Take care.